Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be sharing a real side dream experience from my book Chronicles of a Cosmic Space Case. Dream 11. Lonely Robot Animals. And here I find myself racing around sand dunes with Gwen, my mother. We were in these little buggies, and as we proceeded, the sand would diminish until we were in a more rockier area, a little hazardous for our buggies, so we parked them. Confronting us now was an immense rock formation, and we determined, we knew that this was the remains of one of those giant old trees, now petrified, and with just the jagged stump remaining, like the Devil's Tower in Wyoming, as an example. Fascinated, if not a bit dismayed, at what was left of a tree that must have been of unprecedented proportions, and surely would have dominated the skyline, our attentions then were drawn by the arrival of a robotic creature. It didn't seem at all hostile, and besides, it was only a small robot, so far from menacing. We watched it as it trundled toward us, then would stop, and we took the moment to examine it. Then another individual arrived on the rocky scene. Greetings were exchanged, and he went on to explain how the trundling robot had once been a living creature. Naturally, we enquired as to how it had met with such a metallic fate, and it transpired that many varieties of animals had been robotised in this fashion. We learned that those responsible had wanted to discover what, if anything, animals think about, and the robotic bodies converted the very thought processes of each animal, which is a unique frequency, through a very comprehensive database of frequencies stored in the robotic brains into speech. Very ingenious, it must be said. A little cruel too, but this man was not affiliated with those responsible. I had the impression they were long gone. But this man then proceeded to remove all the mechanical parts and restore the animal to its former organic state, of which was a small fox. This would not have been possible due to the extent by which animal and robot were fused. So it seems this individual had creation manipulating capability. So maybe he was a guide. So a little dream then, demonstrating further features and happenings in creation. Old petrified trees, long since destroyed, and forgotten robots wandering aimlessly about, their purpose and presence as mysterious as the long past individuals who created them. Seems though the guides are finding some of them and liberating them from their eternal metallic shells, for these are individuals too, and unless they are released from these vehicles, they would be doomed to be trapped in this manner for far longer a period of time than they should be, were they in their natural animal forms, and their process, which had ground to a halt, can resume again. Dwayne provides a view. So, you and Gwen are on your adventure, like what you're doing here, and the terrain is whatever it is. Then all of a sudden something approaches, and you see what this is, and there's someone else there too. Just by that approach and by what you're doing, you're exploring and you're presenting. This is what takes place. And you see also the agreements that people have made. The experience exaggerates itself, but its attitudes upon attitudes. It's an accumulation of them through the process of what we call lifetimes and what have you. As long as the individual agrees to these things, they become so. We become robotic. We become restricted. A robot has only so many moves, like your car. It just goes back and forth. It's a robot, and it gets to the point where it becomes frozen. Because you're there, because you're exploring, because you're presenting at certain times, individuals, animals, or whatever will approach you, and they are curious, and they don't always know, because they are not aware. You see, by the very fact that as a person activates and does something, it's in the doing. You consciously do something with life. In other words, not just collect the knowledge and think that you've got something here, but actually do something creatively to be alive, like the sun shining. A real life, a real aliveness, and all of a sudden, just like the sun shining, the sun comes out, and all of a sudden the bees and butterflies come out, and they want to be a part of this, and you have decided to make the connection with the real light, and this is what is seen by the real awareness. At the same time, the approach by the personal self is there also, looking for how to get through their own restrictions, which they don't consciously see, because for the most part it's hard to be objective about ourselves. This is where we have these experiences to show us this objectiveness. And so, sing the new you song, watch your dream visions, and let the whole of life and the real universal guides show you what is real now. New you.